What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Universal Teas. It's the People's Podcast with your girl Toya, and this episode is called It's Me Season Baby Part 2. And not only is this episode called It's Me Season, but it's definitely Me Season because we're recording it on my birthday. Shout out to all the Pisces in the building and all the people who love Pisces. We love you too, okay? So, I'll call this episode Is Me Season because we all know that I'm on this journey to like freedom, self-love, self-happiness, and a part of that for not just me but for everyone is stepping into your me season, right? And in my caption, if you follow me on Instagram, I put the post, or on the post, is it being selfish or is it being selfless, right? So me season is necessary because we can't operate in our best selves. We can't be anything for anyone unless we love ourselves, unless we step into our me season. And you can't fully operate in me season, right, if you don't know who you are. So a large part of me season is taking the time to get to know you so that you can fully let people know where your boundaries are, what you're going to accept, what you're not going to accept, and you can understand why, right? Because a part of me season is selfish, right? You're going to lose people. You're going to have people feel away. I am taking all requests for people that's going to join the live. But you're going to lose people, right? But if you're confident in yourself and who you are in your me season, that's going to be okay, right? You have to be okay losing people. You have to be okay letting people go their ways and you go yours. I'm going to get my sister on the live. So if you all want to join my live today because it's my birthday, I want as many co-hosts as possible. So go ahead and send the request to join the live. And we're going to do that now. Wait. Did I do it? This is my first time doing it. Thank you. I also have an unk tattoo right here. Well, you can't really see it, but thank you. But yeah, so this episode I feel like was necessary because in our me season, while my sister is coming on, we sometimes feel like it's a bad thing. It's a bad thing to choose us. It's a bad thing to tell people no. It's a bad thing to step away from situations, relationships, when in reality, we have to do that. Because if we're always people pleasing, if we're always doing what other people want us to do, we're never going to be fully fulfilled, right? And a large part of me season, right, is actually a graduation. To be a person who steps into me season confidently, to be a person who isn't afraid to stand alone, that's a graduation. So I don't know if I'm the only one that's in the graduating class of 2022 for me season, but I hope not, right? I hope not. When we're operating in me season, you also have to be okay with losing people. Okay? You have to be okay with losing people and letting people go, even if it's your fault. Okay? We have to accept that. Sorry, y'all. We have to accept that a large part of growing and getting to that graduation of me season is understanding that things come and go. Nothing lasts forever. Not even people, not relationships, not jobs, not our lives, right? So you have to step into that fully and understanding that things will come to you as they should. If it's yours, it'll come back. If it's not yours, why the hell would you want it around you anyway, right? So a large part of me season is accepting that you're going to lose people. Accepting that you're going to have to lose people and people are going to have to lose you. Accepting that sometimes it's your fault that you're losing people, and that's okay, right? I know recently in my life I'm in a situation or in situations where, you know what I'm saying, I'm noticing who's around, who's not around. People are deciding how they want to interact with you, and that's okay, right? A large part of our me season is understanding that even if something is your fault, even if you do something that's not favorable to a friend, in a relationship, in a partnership, in a business relationship, it's okay. Because everything that we experience are lessons, okay? And a large part of understanding who you are is understanding that sometimes you're going to fuck up, right? I had to take it off my TV. Add me now. You got to send a request, I think. But a large part of our me season is understanding that sometimes you are going to mess up. And you can't get down on yourself. You just have to take a step back and realize that you're just not going to operate that way again. You're not going to move that way again. You're going to handle that situation when it gets presented differently, okay? So again, for my friends who are just joining, it's my birthday. And if you want to be a part of the live video today, go ahead and send a request. I'm letting everybody come and be my co-host today. So you have to request to be on it, though. I don't know how to, oh, maybe I do. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't. Oh, there we go. I think I did it. Okay. Let's see if it works this time. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, no, maybe so. But anyway, while we're waiting on the live request to happen, what we wanted to do, or what I wanted to do when I thought about this episode and thought about Me Season, is understanding that where I am right now is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm a single woman with no kids. So what better time is there for me to operate in Me Season than now, right? What better time for me to be selfish and make all the decisions that best suit me than now, right? A large part of Me Season is doing moment by moment, something that I said for myself for this year, going into my 28th year of life, right? 28 still passing is 18, but black don't crack. It's understanding that this is the time, right? I get to make every decision for me, by me, through me, and I don't have to consider anybody else. That's a large part of stepping outside of who you are, is making decisions for you, right? Because I don't have anybody else to take care of, because I don't have anybody else's emotions and feelings to consider, every moment this year, moment by moment, I'm doing whatever feels good for me, regardless of what somebody else is going to think, regardless of what somebody else is going to say. And that takes sitting with yourself, because you can't do that boldly. You can't say, I'm going to do what feels right for me in the moment, if you're afraid of what other people think, if you're afraid of how you're going to be judged, right? A part of doing what's best for you in the moment is not giving a fuck. We've been talking about this for, I feel like, the past 3 weeks, right? Saying no, not caring, doing what's best for you. And that's a large part of Me Season. And some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to hate your Me Season because they're going to say you acting different, you moving different, you being weird, you ain't doing the same things you used to. Like, people have been asking me, like, oh, what you doing for your birthday? You turning up, you going out? No. I'm no longer interested in buying sections in the club, popping bottles. Like, that's not what I'm on. You know what I'm saying? It's a day of relaxation, reflection, and refreshing for me. You know what I'm saying? Birthdays aren't turn up time for me anymore. So as I'm operating in my Me Season, there's going to be some people who are used to turn up, Toya, and now this shift in who I am is going to be kind of like, oh, you moving funny. Am I moving funny, or am I just growing? Am I operating in my Me Season? Am I graduating to Me Season, right? Graduating into Me Season means that you don't care. Right? Everything that you did, everything that you used to do, every experience that you had prior has nothing to do with the experiences that you're building right now in your present moment, right? And I told my friends who were here, this is going to be a very quick episode because I am going to dinner. So go ahead. If you want to jump on the live, tell me happy birthday, chat with me, talk to me, go ahead and do that now. I have no idea how you accept the invitation. Try sending it again. Try sending the invitation again. I might be able to accept it. Anyway, so another thing that I realized and reflecting on what I want my Me Season to look like, because I'm trying to shape what it looks like, right? I keep saying that it's Me Season, that I'm operating in Me Season, but a large part of it, and every time I look over here, I'm looking at notes. I had somebody ask me about that before. Mistakes that we make, we have to use them as springboards, right? So don't take mistakes as failure. Don't take mistakes as you having the wrong destiny. I don't know why it's not working. You having the wrong destiny, you having the wrong vision and the wrong goals. Maybe you have the wrong approach, right? Maybe you're invested with the wrong people, right? Maybe you took the wrong road to get there, right? Your vision is clear. The way that it gets there can change. The way that you make it to your destiny can change, right? So when we make mistakes, whether they be in relationship, friendship, school, partnerships, businesses, use those as springboards, because you're never starting from scratch. When you fail, you're always starting from experience, right? You have lessons, right? You're building up your artillery so that when you're presented with this test again, you'll know how to better handle it, right? And another thing that I think I mentioned the last time I was recording this episode, they blocked it. So I'm trying to remember everything I talked about then. But another thing that I talked about in that episode was just because you learn a lesson doesn't mean you have to go back and retake the same exact test. Or what I mean by that is, just because you forgive someone doesn't mean you have to go back and let them into your life. A part of Me Season, like I stated at the beginning, a large part of it is being okay with people leaving. You can go. You know what I mean? Owning that maybe it's your fault. Owning that maybe, you know what I'm saying, they have something going on in their lives that doesn't align with what's going on in yours. But you have to be okay with letting people go, right? You have to be okay with making mistakes, right? If you can't make anything, if you can't make a mistake. I think that's a quote from somebody somewhere. But yeah, this episode, y'all, I'm about to I'm pushing it. I want us to go live at 5, and y'all real quiet. So it's totally okay. But I want you all to know that me season is appropriate. Being selfish is okay if it takes you to the next level. Stepping into your me season should feel like a graduation, right? To step into not caring about anybody but yourself, that takes a lot of guts. That takes a lot of grit. It takes a lot of grind also, right? Don't give up on yourself. Be okay with losing people because it's not your fault. It's theirs, right? So, I'm okay with the less people around me feel better. Exactly. And I'm starting to learn that now. Like even today with my birthday, I'm just like, the less people, the better. Because everybody's like, oh, what are you doing? What you got planned? Where you going? Where we at? And I'm just like, I'm going to dinner with about 5 friends. And that'll be it, you know? And I'm okay with that. I don't need to be around a big group of people and a whole lot of hoopla and a whole lot of commotion, right? That confuses me and it makes me anxious, quite frankly, right? So step into your me season. Do it boldly. Do it proudly. You deserve to be exactly where you are. And you absolutely deserve where you're going to go. Don't forget the hard work. And invest in yourself. Love yourself. I'm about to go. Thank you all for joining me. This has been a very quick episode of Universal Teas and People's Podcast. I have to go to my birthday dinner. And maybe I'll go live there. Because once I get a few more drinks, I might be talking more. But yeah, I will see y'all next time.